Yeah, we have a reverse live build in the group audience.
That's most
Instead of
people.
Pete.
Most people. And it's not Witch. It's most people. A lot of artists hate
It's
fucking
because
hands.
hands are weird.
Hands are weird.
Mm.
Hands are
Hands
weird.
are weird. See, at least Jake's on my side for the first time in a hot minute.
I'm telling you now, like I was saying this off camera, but like even 3D modeling hands is fucking infuriating.
Hands are
It's
the worst.
bro, I will be on like a whole workflow, like I'll be mastering my flow and everything, and I get to the hands, I'm like fuck, and this will take me like all day just do like one hand.
Don't get
Thank
me
God.
started. Dude,
Thank
on when I'm doing digital art, can I be 100% honest with you? A lot of the times, I just like I use either like an actual like 3D model or I use someone's references, like drawing references, and then I kind of like trace the sketch over and I just go from there. Or sometimes if I'm really fucking lazy, I just trace over the hand.
Yeah, for me, I mean, thank God I like cause the benefit of doing it in 3D is that I only have to model the hands once. And then I just copy and paste to the opposite, like a
I mean, I
symmetrizer.
could do the same thing too, but if I'm doing like kind with digital art with 2D digital art,
Right.
but like at the same time, it's like, oh, if I want two different hands, like hand drawings, I'm just like, fuck, I want to do two different hand styles. Was that's not even the term I'm thinking of.
I try to keep them the same. I try to keep them the same. Like at some point, I probably should do.
Yeah, but like sometimes you're like you want one hand in a fist and one hand like
Yeah.
open, you know, like
I'm
shit
thinking
like
like
that.
that. Yeah, well, yeah, because I 3D model it. I just have to just rig the bones, so I don't have to worry about that. I thought you meant more like maybe one character has like one glove or something like that. That's what I thought you meant.
No, no,
Hey,
no. Gloves are easy.
Yeah.
hey, audience, I am so good at drawing hands that I can make the hand look like a turkey.
No, so for traditional art, what I do is if it's like not in a specific position, it's just like laying flat. I usually do the mitten style, and then I put in the rest of the fingies like that. That's my trick for traditional art when it comes to simplified hands.
Right. The fuck
Gotcha.
weird, man. Weird.
Mhm.
But yeah, hey guys, what's
Hey,
up?
nerd.
What's going on, audience?
Did you know Did you know that the Sonic movie 4 people they released a poster of them just like holding Amy's hammer. Amy wasn't in it, and I was like, this does nothing for me. I don't know what this is supposed to do.
Like that's real, Jake?
Well, they had like a
Because
real Amy's hammer has been like real modeled, so they can like imagine what it would look like in a
uh,
scene.
Jake, at this point, AI has gone so much to the point where I can't even tell what looks like a set photo and what looks like an AI creation these days, man.
Oh, you know what?
Really?
You know what? We do have one piece of news. I did for we did
Pokemon
some.
Winds and Waves has been announced.
Oh, not that. I was talking about God of War. We got to look at Kratos and Atreus.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
No.
I didn't. Again, I can't tell what's real and what's not anymore, Jake.
We're gonna talk because the whole internet's talking about. I mean, I know the topic thoroughly. We can do that. Real quick, we're just gonna lazily do this because this is kind of a what better whatever week for news.
Yeah.
Hi guys, we're the Fanatic. It's Cryptid, me, Witch,
Austin's dead.
Fanatics,
I'm too
Austin.
tired. I'm too tired to do the opening audience. I mean,
Right.
I'm in another part of the world, so let me have some vacation.
Yeah, I'm recovering from a fucking migraine. Witch is working. You know, we got shit to do. So like, you know, we're just gonna
Look,
do that.
I'm working on a whole lore for a Star Trek thing I'm working on with some friends. That's what I'm doing.
Right. So you know,
Our
we're just gonna.
our socials are in the description, so go for it, audience.
Right. I mean, you know, give me like a couple, give me a minute or two. I can get this fucking picture. But yeah, they released the Kratos and Atreus, what they're supposed to look like.
Okay.
So,
How's Atreus look like?
listen, I'm not trying to bully a boy. All right, I'm not
Oh
really trying.
God,
I
come
was like, all
on.
right.
That kid already gets more so much unjustified hate as it is. You know.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, I love Atreus. Atreus is like, I think Atreus is the greatest thing that ever happened to Kratos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, audience. There's a reason why it's called the Terrible Twos. All right, you know, like it's you're talking about a kid who's literally the offspring of a god of war. Like, what are you expecting, Mister
Well,
Nobility, Mister straight A student? That's you know,
also,
come on.
Kratos wasn't a good person when he was a kid. So I mean, like, let's be real here. At least in the original perception of.
Yeah, I don't know what people are expecting, really. You
All right.
know,
Well, it's also
a
like
teenager,
Trace.
a teenager
He's
being a teenager, you know, who
he's
believes like, yes, I know stuff I know could be is better than my parents or something like that, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, even like his problem. I mean, it wasn't like I thought he was better than Kratos. It was like they weren't honest with each other. They were both like in the wrong for in Ragnarok, like because they kept secrets from each other. If Kratos
yeah,
told him like, "Hey, I knew I was gonna die. I just didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to worry about it." Like that was the whole reason Atreus even spun out to begin with.
mhm.
But you know, shout out to the live action version though.
Oh, wait, that's real, dude.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
as far as we're aware, that's real. Yeah.
Um, okay, yes, they're looking for the long run. I'm assuming because you know damn well when we get the season 2 of this, man, this kid's gonna get
Can I
like
can
an
I be
annual of
100% real with you guys, and you
What's
promise
up?
not to bully me for it?
Go
That
ahead.
kid
Go
kind
ahead.
of looks like that Rizzler kid.
Yeah, people. No, well, no, people said he looked like something else. He looked like Hezbollah or something like that. I think that's his name.
I don't fucking know. He kind of looks like the Rizzler.
All right. Um, I'm pulling up a picture of them in the first game, so we have a comparison. I'm trying to find a shot where they're doing something similar. Great, but yeah, what are you thinking, Cryptid?
They're going for the long run. I mean, you're definitely going to see this kid grow in the second adaptation of this project audience. So, hey, don't.
Yeah, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean just yet.
You don't look like no Atreus. Well, he don't look like Atreus of Sparta. You don't look like Atreus, bro. But it's all good. He just a boy. He's just a little baby boy.
Literally.
Yeah, bro, it's hard to find a good picture of these two in God of War 4. Jesus Christ.
I
Uh,
will say Kratos looks good though. You know, he looks like
I
he's
don't like
from the
his.
game.
It's missing the beard. He's missing the beard for me. And
I can live with the minimized beard. Okay,
I
so
can't. Also, you could tell his bald cap if you look closer enough.
eh,
You can't notice it right now. But I'll tell you, because when you zoom in, you can notice it easily when you zoom in. But I'm telling you on close-ups, if they don't fix that, that's gonna look really weird. That's gonna because it looks like he has like. Actually, no, I see it right now. You can see like the little bulges on his head that don't look natural right there because it's his hair. For
so
comparison, this
you're telling me the actor didn't just want to go ahead and shave his head fully? Then come
he
on,
said,
really?
I'm not the dude trying to play Xavier for First Class, right? I'm not.
Yeah.
So this is what we're aiming for. I mean, these are custom outfits. We're not really
No, yeah,
expecting
we're
them
not
all
talking
next
about the
year.
costume. We don't care about the costume.
Yeah. I mean, this is what they actually wore in the game. Canonically, this is what they wore. So this actually is accurate. Um,
Mhm.
I kind of want Kratos to be a bit more built. I think, or maybe this is not a flattering angle. I guess. They're also missing his scar. For people who don't remember, he got stabbed in the stomach by the blade of Olympus in God of War 2, and he's had that
Yeah.
scar ever since. And that's
Mhm.
on his character model in 4 and 5. So like it should be there.
Jake,
Um,
Jake, how dare you as a fan want to be nitpicky like that? You
well,
know?
well, because no, that scar tells a lot. It's about his character, right? Because like this is like
Mhm.
it calls back to his Greek past that he wants to avoid the whole game. So like
Yeah.
it adds on to his character in 4 where it's like I can't escape this shit no matter how hard I try. You know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Atreus is missing some scuff marks on his face, which are fine. I guess I don't. They never went into like why he had some scratches on his face when he was a kid. Um,
Mhm.
but they just added more to the gruffness of his world, I guess.
Yeah.
I need to see these two act together. I think I need to know they have chemistry because if Kratos and Atreus don't have chemistry, we don't got a story, bro. We don't got a story. I
I
know.
I know. Mhm.
I don't like the
I mean, you
set.
got you gotta look at it this way, audience. Like they had to have gone through hundreds of child actors to be, acting right in front of the actor for Kratos to find the perfect one. So
Right.
a lot to live up to, kid. A lot to live up to. So
Well, we're gonna have to wait for a trailer, guys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't like
Wait
the
for a
set.
trailer before making any harsh judgments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going by what we're seeing here. I don't like the set. I think the set, it looks too normal. I mean, like God of War 4 had a lot of like beautiful coloring in that game. Like it looked realistic, but the coloring made it feel more fantastical. Also it was fall when this took place, so I mean that's just an easy thing. You just get fall leaves. I don't know why everything has to be so green. I don't think there's anywhere in 4 that looks this green that I remember correctly, or at least there's like snow on the floor. It was like snowy areas that were in too. So, but yeah, yeah,
It is what it is. We'll see what happens when the show actually comes out.
yeah. Someone stabbed this actor in the stomach, so he's gonna have a scar.
Oh wow!
Get some of the fucking spirit gum. The
Jake,
spirit
will
gum
you-
that shit on there.
Well, what you're telling me, Jake, is you wanted to get a method actor to be playing Kratos. Then,
Yes.
you know?
I want someone to actually destroy the Greek pantheon before they come to set.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to.
Right. You know something that we don't talk about, because I just thought about this, right? Like, how is he going to swing these fucking chains?
They probably like made a foam or something. I don't know.
I predict it's going to look awful.
We won't know until we see it.
That's fair, but like I'm saying that Kratos' movements with the chains are very animated, and I don't think they're gonna do that. And I'm not saying that like
Jake, you know what they're going to do for
what?
about 3/4 of this show? They're going to have Kratos be wielding the axe for most of the time, and then they'll save the chain blades for later for the end.
Well,
you know?
that was I mean, certainly that's kind of what happens in the original game. He doesn't get the blades back till the end. I guess my thing is more like him, the way he uses those blades. I guess he doesn't use them as crazily as he does in like 4. I mean, in the previous games, but they do move in a way that's very unrealistic or very hard to replicate in live action.
Yeah.
At least on a TV budget, I imagine.
Yeah.
And before you even get to and also they're on fire whenever he uses them. And this is supposed to be, and the axe is supposed to be like cold whenever he uses it. So you have those two things. Like that's going to be a lot of VFX. And then that before you even get to that, you have the dragon, which we're probably not getting. You have any scene, you have like the fucking zombie people, the Draugrs. Any scene with Freya, you got to animate Mimir constantly. I don't know. And then
You're telling me they couldn't find a disembodied head?
I tried to
in this day and age. I'm disappointed in them.
I called the director and I said, "Hey, let me cut somebody's head off. What do you think about that?" And they were like,
"We'll do it. We'll do it."
I'll do it. Right. And so
it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, like ever since I saw Wednesday, because audience, you remember damn, I forgot what his name. The hand, right?
Thing.
All right, that was an actual actor who was there throughout the whole series, doing all the scenes for that hand, right?
They've been doing that.
And they So I don't see what will be the big deal about having an actual floating head, So
yeah, at least he'll be voiced by Mimir from the games, from my understanding. So.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
And then Charlie, right? The fucking giant turtle. Well, that's gonna be a budget. I guess it'll be for one episode.
I wonder where the budget is gonna go for this show. We'll have to wait and see.
You got Boulder's gonna be like Wolverine the whole time. You got the World Serpent. That's gonna be
Jormungand, and then what you need like Garm.
Not in this one. That's Garm shows up in Ragnarok.
Oh, okay, might be. Well,
bloody Garm.
You're gonna need a wolf somewhere in here.
So in Ragnarok, Atreus, in between games, Atreus is gonna find a bunch of wolves, and one of them is gonna be named Fenrir. Then Garm's gonna be a separate thing. And Atreus,
I know Garm and Fenrir are 2 different fucking wolves. I know
right, and so Garm, they have to kill Garm because Atreus thought he was they thought he was like just some puppy that was chained up, and then turns out Garm was like a fucking serial killer.
Why'd they kill the puppy?
Well, so they kill Garm, even though Atreus keeps trying to save it, and Kratos like, listen, we're gonna kill it. You're gonna deal with it. And Atreus like, okay, and then they kill it. Then they put Fenrir, because Fenrir dies at the beginning of the game, so they put Fenrir's soul in Garm. So then it was that.
which was
Right.
accidental, you know.
Yeah. Well, no, he did that intentional. He accidentally got Fenrir's soul when Fenrir died, but he did intentionally put
No.
Fenrir in Garb. Yeah.
From what I remember, right, Atreus, like, you know, well, Kratos was actually teaching Atreus to actually give a mercy killing to his wolf, right,
Yeah.
by sending it with his blade,
Right.
and they didn't realize that the soul of that dog went into the blade itself. So
Yeah.
yeah. So when they put that blade into that giant wolf, the spirit of their pet dog went into that wolf, that giant wolf. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That was
Well. Yeah.
brilliant.
So everything was so it was accidental, but then Atreus learned how to do it from Angerboda, learned how to properly do it from Angerboda, and
Yeah,
then yeah. So they did it on Garm. Well, the dead corpse of Garm, I should say. And then Kratos like, oh, did Odin teach you that? He's like, no, I saw a friend taught me that. You gotta trust me. Well, yeah, shit. So, yeah, but that's cool. But that's to say, Garm and Fenrir will not be in this one if the story is true. I said this before. I don't think God of War needed a TV show. Um, at least the Norse games don't because they're already movies or TV shows anyway. So,
yeah.
so
We're getting it whether we want it or not, man. You know,
right.
so
They
gotcha.
they could have had a well, I wouldn't have watched it, but they could have had a face show, and I would have been more acceptable.
Yeah. Strike while the iron's hot, I guess. You know, or cold in the situation.
But
So yeah. All right. Any more thoughts on this before we get to the actual comics of the week, Jake?
no,
Okay.
you could choose to be better. Whoever's making this.
Remember, audience, they call the terrible twos for a reason.
Uh,
So, you know.
yeah, Kratos sliced people's limbs off when he was a
So, all
teenager.
right then.
Yeah.
So, you're supposed to be better than your parents, you know? Isn't that the goal? You know?
Right.
Anyway, audience, we're starting the comics of the week off with Dungeons of Doom, issue number 2, audience. Okay, it's been a while, but in case people need a recap of what's going on, you basically have 3 factions that are in the dungeons right now underneath Doom's castle. You have the Americans, you have Hydra, and you have the Latvian freedom fighters. You know, so yeah, each of them are basically found a different part of this dungeon. And yeah, I mean, I guess we could just start off with the Americans over here because they found what basically looks like a torture room and a disemboweled corpse in the center of it, which turns out to be a mutant. But yeah, there was apparently a collaboration between Doctor Doom and Charles Xavier because there was a mutant that needed to be in these dungeons that needed to never see the light of day.
So even I mean, this has already been established, but even Charles Xavier knows that not every mutant is created equally. I'm just
I mean, okay, Jake, if you're talking about like a mutant that's even harmful to the mutant community, come on, we have to compromise somewhere.
So
Let's not.
it's okay to regulate mutants when it affects the mutant community, but when they affect the world, oh well, all of a sudden we gotta treat them like the same. All right, I understand.
I'm gonna stay out of this conversation because I want to work on this thing I'm working on, and I'm having a good time.
Listen, I just want it on record. The X-Men are okay with taking your rights away if you're a danger to them, but don't do anything to them, the X-Men themselves. Okay, I just want to put that on record. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Look, fuck you, Charles. That's all I have to say.
Well, this apparently
Charles
was
is
big
the
enough.
worst.
Well, I mean, this was big enough for like all the mutants apparently having to face off against this guy because like this corpse gave like a psychic like blast to the American soldiers, and you're seeing flashbacks to this guy. You're seeing all the mutants and even the Avengers having to band together to stop them. You're like, you see Charles, you see Emma Frost, you see Brother Voodoo, and it appears like this person was controlling all the people in the surrounding areas. So you're like, okay,
By the way,
what's going on
by the
here?
way, the fact that Orcus didn't know about these people, about this mutant, was probably a good thing.
Yeah, this could have been the poster child for like, okay, this is why we have to hate and fear mutants because we can't have another example of this mutant right here running amok.
No, but
You know?
no, I mean, like, listen. Just so people understand my position, because I have to reiterate,
Because you are a
I'm not
mutant.
for.
You
I'm
were a
not.
part of the X-Men for 5 minutes
Yes,
when you were
yes,
3.
Yes, I am a mutant. First off, I'm part of the community. All right, there's a book with my name in it, so it's all good.
Mhm.
And so yeah, my thing with mutants is that like I don't think they need to be chained up like universally. No, that's obviously not. But I think it's crazy that the X-Men find it weird that people are scared of mutants when some of them blow up things just accidentally. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like
yeah.
I just think that's kind of crazy. And the fact that like humans can't do anything about it or they're considered racist, which some of them are, don't get
Mhm.
me wrong. Some like Senator Kelly's fucking racist. Let's get it clear. But
Yeah.
like, they can't do anything without being called racist is crazy. But mind you, when there's a mutant like this, who is crazy powerful, who is like, I'll put this in terms of Apocalypse brought up. He's like, he is beyond the mutants as the mutants are beyond the humans. All of a
If
sudden, the X-Men can understand, oh, we need contingencies. We need to put him in a bracket or something. We're going to do something like
if
that.
if
But
if
the
the
real
mutant
question is he more powerful than the Iraqi mutants? That is a whole
That
nother
is question.
the
possibly like
good
look, if you tell
question,
me that
because
the
those motherfuckers all had to fight to survive, and only the
Mhm.
strongest won.
Yeah,
Right.
and keep this in mind, audience. Like, if you're telling me like even the X-Men or any of the mutants in the community have a hard time controlling this guy, what makes you think that it should be easier for the humans to accept them? You know, like, yeah. I mean, for
And
God's sake,
thank God the X-Men and the Avengers did fix the situation. Because this is what I was
Mhm.
always saying. Like, the X-Men are like, well, we'll handle it if it's a bad mutant. What if you can't? And like
Yeah,
humans have no defense because they were not allowed to figure out how to make countermeasures because you guys would get all crazy about it. So I was like,
yeah. You know what this? You know what? Now that I look at this guy's corpse, right? Because he looks like a gutted pig in this, right? He looks like, yeah, he looks like a meat carcass that's lost all his limbs. It's barely alive. This and that. This kind of reminds me of Soul Eater guys, the
I'm aware of
anime. Soul Eater. You remember the main bad guy, right? What they had to do in order to keep him captive. They basically
No,
had to cut his skin and put it and use that skin as a bag to contain the bad guy in it. You know,
I
that
didn't
kind of
watch
is
Soul Eater.
yeah, that kind of is a situation right here because this mutant has like a metal box inside him. I guess that's where his spirit is because, like, look, when the Americans tried to free him, right? Because he was basically like a zombie. He was still moving. He was still talking, right? All of a sudden, something happened, and like this, it started emitting an incantation, right? I'll read it. Imagine a corpse saying this to you, audience. Es que oka tandere. Es que oka tandere. Es que oka tandere. Like, what the fuck? And next thing you know, the body blows up and the spirit ends up going into one of the soldiers. Like, okay, this is getting kind of freaky here. So they take that metal box. They're trying to escape, and unfortunately, the guy who got the spirit in him, yeah, he goes crazy and he blows up too, and it looks like that spirit goes into somebody else. Okay, this is Resident Evil territory. So like yikes, yikes. Just saying, it might have been easier if like a certain girl out there who had a bunch of doom bots under her control could have been placed in this situation as opposed to as actual soldiers, But hey, who am I to
or
decide that
maybe if
logic?
we had a group of robots that were specialized in fighting mutants and we just sent them instead, that kind of would have been useful, huh? But I don't know, oppression or whatever. Who gives a fuck?
There you
So,
go. Hey, hey,
Yeah,
yep,
where is your Sentinel crew?
yep.
Cryptid. Where is your specialized Sentinel crew at?
Hey, I
Nowhere?
was
That's
just
what I fucking
hey,
thought.
Hey, just because I'm pro Sentinels doesn't mean they have to be everywhere at once. All right. No, hey, but
You
you
could
know a
have had
lot of people.
one. You could have spared
Mhm.
one, but no,
So
useless,
yeah. Well, we didn't know that
useless.
there was.
Drink your
Hey,
water, kids.
we didn't know there was a mutant in Latveria. Okay, let's bring that up. Okay, so anyway, so as that's going down, we cut back to
Have Charles stand guard
Hydra
this
faction,
Christmas.
right? Audience can remember. Mhm. Yeah. But anyway, we cut back to like the Hydra faction. Now remember, audience, the Hydra faction ended up finding a cursed hammer that looks like similar to Thor's hammer, right? But yeah, in order for one of the guys to lift it, he ended up having to kill one of his own men. And yeah, he was able to be deemed worthy of this hammer. I swear, every time I look at this hammer, I'm thinking back to Thor from God of War. Like just the shape of that.
Yeah, because you know how Nazis are. They love to steal everything from Norsemen, like Norse culture, dude.
Yep, exactly. So anyway, as that's going on, he uses the hammer to try breaking out. Unfortunately, there's like a big argument between him and one of the other Hydra agents, and the Hydra agent ends up killing this guy. And now all of a sudden, that Hydra agent is now worthy to lift the hammer. So you're like, oh god dang. So okay, in order to get the weapon, you just have to kill his owner. It's basically like the Elder Wand from Harry Potter, apparently.
Don't care about
So
Harry Potter.
mhm. Yeah. So anyway, we cut back to the Liberian freedom fighters. Fortunately, one of them gets possessed by some Shigemura looking creature. Might as well bring up that person's picture.
That's some like
Yes,
H.P. Lovecraft shit.
I know he gets possessed by like one of the demons. One creepy eyeball tentacle things that were in the tombs of this dungeon.
Okay,
Yikes.
real quick. If you take
Mhm,
anything from this audience, I need you to know, don't open shit. Don't open shit in dungeons, in tombs, or anything. Just don't touch
mhm.
it. Just look at it
Yeah,
and go home. Look at
yeah,
it and go home. We don't need to
yeah.
be
Unfortunately,
opening this shit, because look at the shit that happens.
yeah. Unfortunately, they really have no choice because they're all caved in right here, and they're just trying to get out. But in the meantime, they're fighting all this stuff. You know. And during the midst of this, you find the other Liberian freedom fighters actually find something that was left behind by Khonshu himself. So, an orb. So, apparently, Dr. Doom had an artifact from Khonshu that's been lying underneath his castle this whole entire time. And yeah, also in the midst of this, we have a surprising fourth faction going on, which is a Wakandan from a Wakandan here who's here to retrieve a flower that was actually stolen by Doctor Doom. Let's see, and we find out that it's actually the skull-shaped herb of Wakanda. You know, uh,
Why would you
so
eat that? It
yeah,
looks like a
apparently,
skull. Are these
yeah,
people
yeah.
fucking stupid? Sorry.
To be fair, this one Wakandan agent is actually doing this on behest of one of the Wakandan gods. And we do get insight as to what's a dealio with this herb. So the heart shaped herb Wakanda, it not just grants you all the strength, right? But it allows your spirit to enter the spirit world of Wakanda, right? The skull shaped herb actually does the opposite. So it'll bring about a god to come to basically use your body as their gateway to come to our world. So you're like, oh, okay, we'll see where that goes, audience.
Awfully.
So, uh,
Awfully.
okay, you don't want a Wakandan god to be roaming around the planet, which is what you're telling me?
I don't want a lot of things to happen from this book, but it's happening.
Yep,
And
yep.
I blame you.
Oh, boy, I blame Doom. But anyway,
I
so
blame you
yeah,
for
that's
reading.
Anyway, audience, that's basically how the issue ends. I'm still more invested to see what Delio is with that mutant. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Good issue, I think. Gives you stuff to think about. It gives you some horrifying, gruesome scenes as well. And yeah, you just have to wait on Red Hulk to be saving the day over here because yeah, he's the only superpowered person in here who could fight all these guys. So
I
yeah,
Well, we'll see
and
what
Red
the
Hulk.
skull shaped herb does. So
I'm
Yeah.
so invested in how this story with the mutant can happen, and then for some reason we just ignore all the consequences this would have, and like how this changes the whole debate of the X-Men. But
yeah, how
honestly,
many fucking X
Yeah.
Men do you know that can possess people?
well,
Yeah.
Scarlet
It's just,
Witch, Jean,
Well,
Xavier.
Scarlet Witch is not a fucking mutant anymore. Remember?
Oh, Jean, Xavier, and
They're
Shadow
fucking
Man.
telepaths. They don't really do
if
that
you're,
much. But based off
if
of
you're
that, I
telling,
remember that
if
one
you're
time
telling,
Emma mind controlled Wild Child to do her bidding.
Oh, Emma Frost. Yeah,
That's mind
yeah,
control.
so,
That's more mind control than possession.
yeah.
But
it's in the same
So you're
ballpark.
telling, imagine this.
we'll discuss the
Imagine,
ramification of
yeah.
telepathy
Imagine
telepathy.
this scenario. Imagine this scenario, audience. So you're telling me everybody from the mutant community banded together and agreed, yes, someone from our community needs to be put in a dungeon against their will.
They should have
Yikes.
dug a little bit deeper in this dungeon.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
it's okay.
yeah,
The
You
X Men
should
are
have
hypocrites.
no. They should have sealed off that room, cast of Amontillado style. Should have
The
done
X.
like that. Full
I
on
keep
Edgar
telling
Allan
mhm,
Poe.
I keep
Seal
telling
that
people
well
that
off.
the X Men need to stop being an allegory for like racial. I don't think it works.
It's
Or
not just racial
well,
prejudice.
it's not.
It's
It's
like
also
with
like the
other
other.
things.
Yeah, I know it's the other stuff too, but it's like it's just that allegory. It's like, well, no, I take that back. Regardless, I think
Yeah,
it
makes
works for
sense.
like an LGBTQ allegory because you always have the thing where like I'm a mutant. Oh my god, what the fuck? Like you know what I mean? That's always gonna be relevant regardless of like what powers they have. But
yeah.
the whole like oh the humans fear them type shit. I mean, unless if you're gonna meet people halfway, the allegory doesn't work for me. It's not gonna work for a long time. But I don't know.
A person's coming out story does not equate to a person realizing they have
Well,
the power
no.
to
I
destroy
stand
a
by their
whole
good.
city.
I
You know,
stand by
to
their
Okay,
destroy a
good.
whole
okay, guys.
humanity.
Let's just
Yeah.
move on
Well, hold on.
before
I
we
do want to say I do
discuss
stand
the
by them
ethics of
being.
mutanism.
Well, I do stand by
Mhm.
the LGBTQ allegory because I do think there's cool stories like when X Men Wolverine and the X Men like Angel's father figures out he's a mutant and he keeps trying to fix him. It's like an allegory for like
Yeah.
conversion therapy stuff like that. Like those things work. I just don't agree with the whole like oh they're equivalent to like oppressed groups like Black people or Hispanics or immigrants or stuff like. I was like that doesn't
Mhm.
work for me. But
It
yeah,
depends on the story, really. They like to like hip like good jump around
right,
the
right,
mutant allegory. But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on, guys.
right.
Gotcha. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of stuff to talk about, go ahead. Which
Finally, I had to pull this from my archive, guys. So I'm talking about the first issue of Alice in Leatherland. It'll make sense later, but as you can
okay,
tell from the
okay.
cover, it is an adult story.
Yay.
Unplug my phone before it overheats, guys. Let's go. Anyways, so it starts off with a little fairy tale of a firefly who loves seeing the stars, and she accidentally gets trapped in one of those with like a lamp, and she's like
Okay.
freaking out and everything like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we learn that this is a part of a manuscript written by our main character, Alice, and she is eating some cake, and some other sweets at a bakery while her friend slash illustrator buddy Robin is like, hanging out with her because she don't like sweets. That's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
canon, by the way. And so Robin is like, it's a good story, but like, isn't it a bit too like similar to your other stories? And Alice is like,
Ooh.
what are you talking about? Nothing's up, dude. Like, you'll see that the book's gonna have a perfect happy ending. It's great. And then Robin's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, your fairy tales are usually even more sugary than all the breakfast sweets you eat. Like, are you sure
Yeah.
everything is okay in your life? Like, you Gucci. Like, maybe just like I warned you would happen, maybe your boring relationship has finally met its expiration date. And so Alice is like, please stop. You know, we see things differently. Like, come on, man. And Robin's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm just a bit annoyed. I don't know. Everything's like, hey, but you're a good writer. You should like come to San Francisco and join the company that I just joined, you know? And all sorts of stuff. They like chatter a bit and everything like that. And initially, Alice turns her down, you know, and everything like that. And she's like, okay, I gotta go like visit my girlfriend at her like soccer game or whatever the fuck. And you know, she bikes all the way over there and everything. She finds the locker room where her girlfriend's probably in, because she doesn't see her on the field. And you know, she looks in, and you know what she sees?
What?
She sees her girlfriend cheating on her.
Yikes.
Yeah, not fun.
Yikes, audience. Yikes.
Not fun. No one likes that.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she rides back to her home, her shared home. She closes the door, looks really upset, packs up her shit, takes her shit out of the house, and you know what she decides to do? She decides to trash the house. Can you go to the first picture?
Yep.
Trash the house. Keep in mind, this is pretty chill. This is pretty chill compared to what she could have done. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. You got off easy.
Just trashing the house, like saying could have been chiller. Anyway, so Robin helps her move and all that other stuff, and Alice is like, yeah, you know what? I'll take her offer after all, bestie. Like, let's get going. And everything like that. So they're driving to San Francisco and everything. I don't even know where they're originally from, but it doesn't matter. And everything. And then you know, Robin's driving and like Alice is sleeping in the back, but we find out that she's actually crying because, you know, she just found out that her ex-partner was cheating on her, which is like, I get it. I understand. Anyways, they get to San Francisco and they go to a bakery for a breakfast pit stop. And you know how I said Robin doesn't like sweets that much? Well, she's making an exception for today. It's a great time. I've never been to San Francisco before, but that's all I gotta say. Anyways, so Robin offers to let Alice stay at her place while she's looking for a new place to live and everything. And Alice is like, no, don't worry. I'll just like get a hotel or whatever. It'll be fine. And everything. And Robin's like, well, it's not that easy to find a room here, but good luck. And take care. And so basically Alice goes to a loud ass coffee shop and starts looking for rooms. Everything is way out of her budget and way out of her range, like what she wants, you know? And so she's pissed off. She's like closes the door from all the loud music, but it doesn't work. And basically she's like trying to write her manuscript and everything, and she's like really pissed off. She's not in the right headspace to write, which I think is valid. So she goes back on her phone, and guess what? She finds the perfect roommate situation. Yippee! Can you go to the next picture? Grabs her card, pays for the first 3 months rent. Yippee! The room is hers.
Aw.
Yeah, she found a room.
That's
affordable
to have on
and utilities are included. I'm just saying.
That is pretty bitch.
In San Francisco, I don't even know how good rent is that. It says like price, even you can afford it. Conditions are acceptable. But you'll see what this house is like in just a minute. Basically, we cut to Robin.
Something sounds suspicious about it. Something sounds suspicious about that. Too good to be true. So yeah.
You'll see. Anyway, so we cut to Robin moving in with all like her movers and everything, and she's texting Alice and and is like, oh, like how's it going? Like, have you found a room yet? I was thinking like maybe when you're finished, like you could submit your story to the company. I'm sure they'll love you, and everything like that. Yeah. And so Alice starts moving in, and she opens the door, and she sees a guy with a very scary mask on, and she's like, I think I might have gotten the wrong address, I think. And then we see I don't know what the term for a male dominatrix is, but we got this fucking twink dominatrix kicking that scary guy in a mask in kinky style.
Would daddy be the proper term, or no?
I don't know. He's too twinkish to be a daddy. I'm just saying. But what do I know? Anyways, so he's like, oh, so you must be the new roommate. Well, welcome. I'm Joaquin. Nice to meet you. And he's like, oh, let me help you with your bags. and everything like that. So it's great. So yeah, he's a dominatrix, and he has some live-in servants. If you catch my drift, I'm trying to keep this like PG-13 as much as possible.
Master, I think that would be the proper term.
Well, they do call him master.
There you go.
And so one of them is master, and then Joaquin's like, can't you see I'm busy? Can't you begin it on your own? Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And, you know, he starts showing her around the house and everything like that. And she's like, oh, I'd just like to go to my room for a minute. And then we see some hands banging on the window, and they're like, Kaguya, please take me back.
Mm-hmm.
And Joaquin is like, come on, guys, that's enough. If she says no, then it's a no. Like, but she's not even home right now. And these guys are like confessing their love to her. And guess what? Kaguya is here. And she was doing like a performance art piece, kind of, but with her body. Pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I have a picture of it, but it's fine. And she's like, oh, sorry I'm late. Like, welcome. Everything like that. Joaquin's like, is that blood? And Kaguya's like, hey, I came home straight from where I was. I couldn't stop the flux of the performance. Like, come on, man. And, you know, these people are still outside being like, I love you. I can't live without you. And she's like, I fucking warned you. What happens during the performances, they're in the fucking performances, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't worry. Joaquin is like, shows her to her room. And it's a nice little room. It's nothing too crazy. You know, and he's like, well, we're a bit busy right now, so feel free to make yourself comfortable and welcome home and everything like that. And she's like, oh, thank God. Yeah, that's the catch, you know, has to live with a male dominatrix and a very sexual performance artist, which we love that. I wish I could live in that situation right now. Anyways.
Is that really a downside, though?
Not really. Not really.
Right.
I wouldn't complain as long as they didn't force me to join in on their stuff. I think I'm good. You know, I think it would be awkward if I was like in my pajamas, like I looked crusty as hell, and I just saw these people. I'm like, oh, hello.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, I'm one of the roommates. Don't worry. I would, to be honest with you, I would probably be the most normal person in this situation if I was in this situation. Like, me being a cosplayer is not that crazy, guys.
They could come and ask you for a cup of sugar, but nothing further than that. You know?
Yeah, so. Nothing too crazy. Like, if you need me to go buy you some adults. Like an adult toy, sure. Like, give me the money, I'll buy it for you. Fuck it. Like, if it's like certain things, there's a limit. I feel like there's a limit, but not important. Anyways, so it's at night, and Alice is trying to work on her manuscript, and she's like struggling. And then she notices that she got 2 messages from Robin. She reads them, and then, you know, she's kind of still sad about everything, but she's like, hey, like, sure, I found a room quite easily. Everything is perfect here. Even I had moved in, you know, like, I had some time to work on the story. Don't worry, the little firefly will have its happy ending. Can you go to the last picture I have? I know it's not the one that I just talked about, but you do get to see Joaquin. He's the one in the leather. So yeah, that's the last picture I have. But but I've read the whole book several times, and honestly, the roommates are pretty sweet. So I can't complain. But I like this book. I've read it several times. It's a cute and deary story, but if you don't mind sex, then you're good.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm strong anti-sex, so.
Damn, you're a Puritan.
I'm just looking.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Joaquin, and I just gotta say, like, well, somebody out there in the world has to rock a V-neck, audience. You know, not everybody could. You know,
that's not even a V-neck or a deep V-neck. I swear.
What would you call that?
I think it zips up.
Zips up. Okay, we'll go with that.
It zips up, and he is a dominatrix, or whatever the masculine term of a dominatrix is. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments, or hit me up on my Twitter or Tumblr. No, hit me up on Tumblr specifically.
Yeah, Big Daddy. I don't know. So,
we'll see. I'll. You know what? I'm not gonna look this up. Someone's gonna have to tell me. So hit me up on Tumblr, guys, if you know what the term is for a masculine dominatrix who maybe is a twink. Just kidding. He definitely is a twink. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm gonna reread this book now while I'm like zoning out.
Gotcha. Well, seeing how which talked about like a pretty mature rated book, it's only fair that I talk about mature
Wait,
rated.
wait. Because I think it's my turn. I can't see the private chat from here, but I think it's my turn.
We'll go to the
Next.
next book. We'll see what happens.
Look in the private chat.
Oh,
Well, no, I didn't
No,
organize. I
look
didn't
in the
put it in.
picture.
Look at the private chat just to make sure.
Okay.
okay.
After my book, it is
Okay,
Sonic
go ahead.
Presents the Chaotix.
Yes. So, but well, I mean, don't spoil it.
Go ahead.
I only did like 0.2 seconds.
Cryptic, can you switch? It literally says the name on it. I'm not at my computer right now.
Okay, let's see. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
It's black and white at the bottom.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, wrong one. Black and white.
Okay.
It has a crocodile on it.
Oh, I know who I've seen her before.
Well, we'll talk about her later. Like, you guys are just spoiling it. Oh my goodness.
Hey, blame Cryptic. I was trying to help.
No, it's because I did.
Wait.
The only other Sonic one.
Oh wait, no, wrong one.
Oh,
This is why this is why you gotta.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, we got there.
It was
This is why-
I am holding down. I am doing the most MCU Reed Richards shit in my life right now. So this was all last minute. So, and I also had a headache today. So all of this I did for this was last minute because everything else was way more important at the time. So yes. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure Reed Richards had to save the world when he was having a cold too.
I have to create the world. I have to create worlds.
And Reed Richards created universes, Jake.
Well,
so
listen, I'm getting there. Listen, it's one character model at a time. Okay. Anyway, guys, I don't know if you heard the news, but the Chaotix are on the case. That's my singing voice. You like it? It's pretty good.
Go for it.
Yeah, so this is the Chaotix file. Sega presented this, okay? Not to be confused with the Epstein files, which does not exist in the Sonic universe, thank God. Probably because Eggman destroyed 99% of the planet, so Epstein can't exist, okay? So he's probably dead.
Wow.
But yeah, so basically this is the Chaotix files. This is a mini audio drama starring everyone's favorite side characters, the Chaotix. For those who don't know, the Chaotix were really introduced in Knuckles and the Chaotix back in the old days of like 2D Sonic stuff. But they didn't really fully get characterization until Sonic Heroes, where they were reformatted to be a detectives agency within the Sonic universe. But the gimmick is that they're so wildly different personality types that there's no real cohesion in the team. Or there's just enough to really get the job done. So you have Vector the Crocodile, who's the muscle and the lead detective. Espio the Chameleon, who is a ninja who turns invisible. Where did he get his training? We don't know. No, they never explain it. Whatever. And then you have Charmy B, and he's there, and he's loud, and he's random as fuck. And but don't worry, he's 6 years old. At least last time we had canonical ages, so it's all good. So in the Sonic universe, it's always kind of weird to me. As a kid, I never understood this group, right? Like I was always like, all right, they're just goofballs. I mean, they're kind of not really all interested. Listen, I want to be with Sonic and the boys. We're fighting demons and gods and shit. And these people can't even, they trip over their own shoelace if they like just walking down the street. So I never really liked the Chaotix that much. I don't think I hated them, or I think when I first met them, I was really a fan, and then like I just was kind of neutral to them. They were really annoying in Sonic X though, and one day I will re-review Sonic X. But I remember as a kid, I just didn't like any of their episodes. I was like, get the fuck off my screen, guy. You know. But anyway, so Sega, for random reasons, and they've been building this up in the background. If you pay attention to all the clues, they're doing a miniseries that's going on right now. You can watch it on their channel for free, called the Chaotix Files, and this takes the Chaotix on their most difficult case yet. There's a shape-shifting thief going around and stealing priceless artifacts, and Rouge has been framed as the culprit. But she swears she didn't do it, and she's out to free her own name. So the Chaotix have to figure out exactly who is the person behind this, and what's their deal. For IDW fans who haven't watched this, no, it is not Mimic, because I think Mimic is dead in this part of the timeline. But for people who don't know who Mimic is, don't worry about it. It'll get explained to you later. But yeah, this series also has Sonic in the first episode, voiced again by Roger Craig Smith. I will dance to the day Roger Craig Smith stops voicing Sonic the Hedgehog. He's terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I know
wow.
people say it's the voice direction. He has been Sonic since I was like 15, I feel. Like maybe sooner than that, maybe a little bit later than that. I have never liked his voice direction as the main Sonic. Okay.
Dang.
The only time he was a good Sonic for me was when he was the parody version of Sonic. And I was like, oh, he's funny. And he's got the voice for a funny Sonic. I get that. Whenever he went to the main Sonic, I never liked this guy. All right. Part of the reason is because his voice doesn't fit Sonic. Sonic is an adventurer. He's not a hero. So Sonic should never really sound heroic intentionally. It should really be more like, wow, this is such a cool fucking guy. Like, I want his voice should be like, wow, he makes me want to go on adventures too. Like, he makes me feel like I can do anything, type thing. But he doesn't inspire you in the same way Superman does. You know, and I think Roger Craig Smith's voice is too heroic. But anyway, and also the other reason I don't like this interpretation of Sonic is because he's written to not be himself. Once again, we can't seem to agree on how Sonic should talk in any given situation, between like 4 different writers. So every time you see Sonic, he's gonna sound different. It's very annoying, and it didn't used to be a thing. It's a problem. People need to start addressing it. But as terms of the Chaotix, how do I feel about the voices? Well, Vector Crocodile, the new voice actor for him, let me tell you something. He's fucking great. I've never enjoyed Vector's voice as much. I like the original voice actor for Vector. I think he's pretty cool. But this voice actor, he is really fucking killing it. Love this guy. This dude is like, I was like, dang, like you need to stay. Like, I don't care what happens to the rest of the voice cast. You got to stay. Espio, good. I good. I like his nasally voice better because like the voice actor played up the fact that Espio doesn't really have a nose. So he talked very deep, but he also had like a nasally that he kind of took like this a little bit. I don't know if I captured it, but it's a little more. He has like a nasal type thing. Yeah.
Was he going for a gangster voice or what?
It's kind of this low voice. It's supposed to, but it's like the joke is that like he's the joke is basically that he has this low, deep, mystical voice, but he has like a nasal problem basically. So that's kind of the joke with that. And then we have Charmy. Please recast this person. They're good at reading lines, but I'm sorry, that actress does not sound like a 6-year-old boy. Okay, that is a girl. Okay,
you want to take someone out of a job? Wow.
I mean, the original Charmy voice actor sounded great as Charmy. I just found Charmy annoying, but it sounded like a 6-year-old boy. I like this actress in terms of, I know she can read lines very well. She delivers the lines perfectly. She just sounds like a girl. And I think that's a problem when Charmy is supposed to be the 6-year-old boy on the team. So that's kind of my only issue there. But in terms of their chemistry, it's straight up like the games. I don't really have any problem here. Sometimes it even enhances it a bit. We spend more time with the Chaotix than we ever really have. One of the funny things about the Chaotix, which also kind of confused me even to this day, and they play up this fact. The Chaotix, they're so chaotic. Like you can't really pin down exactly what their skill level is as detectives. Sometimes Vector makes like pretty impressive detective skills. Like in the games, he's the first to deduce that Metal Sonic is Eggman on his own, even though no one else was thought about it. In the comics, he was able to pinpoint where Charmy was, and he solved the clutch case. But sometimes they're just like so fucking stupid. Like it's like I can never pin, like, are they supposed to be Batman level, or are they supposed to be like I don't know, like Conan level? Like what are we talking about here? Is it supposed to be Columbo? Like I don't quite understand. And I think what I like about this is that this kind of tackles that. This story kind of shows all the Chaotix flaws and their inadequacies. kind of in the forefront. For instance, Vector's arc currently is that even though they keep moving forward in the case, it's really because they keep stumbling into the clues, right? Like, there's no clue in this case where Vector is figuring it out himself. Usually somebody else is, like Rouge especially, is giving him a lead to the next part because his team can't progress. And he's getting really self-conscious about it. He's like, I don't know. I can't show my face around the other detectives. They'll laugh at me about this case, whatever. You have SBO's arc where SBO is constantly being shown up by Rouge every time. So he's like questioning himself as a ninja. And Charby's arc basically is that, he's kind of realized that, like, I don't really add anything to this team at all. So Charmy's trying to find his thing. There's a moment where he almost finds his thing, but then he messes it up and he gets so sad. You're like, oh, Charmy, oh, that's sad. All right, well. So that's pretty cool. Along the way, we're going to be seeing members of the Sonic cast with their new voice actors. I'm gonna be real with you. Whoever is the casting director for this show needs to be fired because half of these voices sound fucking terrible. Okay, all right. Rouge sounds better than she has in the last couple of years, so that's pretty good. For some reason, there was a brief period where like Rouge's voice just sounded fucking awful for no reason because the voice actress did a fine job before this point. And now it's back to where it was before, where she's more flirtatious. She's like the femme fatale type character. Oh, there's also a funny running joke too, where Rouge keeps trying to flirt with SBO to like femme fatale him, but SBO just doesn't get it. It's kind of funny. Like she's like, SBO, how about we solve the case together? You just kind of get out of here. He's like, she's like, and we can spend some like personal time together. And he's like, I don't know how that would help anything. I have to go help my friends. So she's like,
oh,
all right. So that's a funny running gag. But then you have like voices like fucking the Babylon Rogues, which are kind of like iffy. Knuckles' voice is okay. You have Cream's voice, which sounds really fucking bad, which is weird because Cream is like the easiest to get right. She's just a 6-year-old girl. So you know what I mean? So I don't understand how that's so difficult to direct. Yeah, it's just kind of on and off with this voice cast. We also have for first timers, for people who know the non-canon, but if IDW had their way, it would be canon. A couple of Tangle and Whisper are in the show. This solidifies them in the actual games story because they've appeared in a game, a spin-off game, mind you, and they've now appeared in an official Sega material outside the comics. So these two actually do exist, which means the comics are canon, for better or worse. But they're not a couple, all right? We can't say they're a couple, even though they clearly are, even though we had a panel where they had lesbian colors in the background when they were together, but whatever. So Sega doesn't want that. But anyway, they show up. My only problem with Tangle and Whisper has always been once they put these two characters together, they have not split up at all. And it's kind of annoying because I would rather see Whisper and Tangle interact with other characters. They can still be like friends or as close as they are. I just want to see them interact with people away from each other. It's kind of like they're so codependent on each other now. It's kind of weird. But it is what it is. Tangle's voice actress, I didn't really feel her in this episode, but then they released a Tales 2 episode where you get to see her voice act in another thing, and she did a great job, so I'm actually okay with her now. Whisper's voice, it's good. I think it could use a little more edge to it. I just think that's my only issue with it. But yes. But I do think the appeal of this, I think, is just kind of the storyline itself more than the voices. Dan Jolly wrote this. As far as I'm aware, Dan Jolly is a first timer on the Sonic cast, the Sonic Writers cast. He does a phenomenal job. If the movies, like the Paramount movies, made a Chaotix spin-off movie, I would love to see him write for it because he gets how to make the Chaotix fun to listen to. And not a lot of people could do that for me, so I appreciate him. Don't let him write Sonic. I think he'd be terrible at it, but he can write the Chaotix pretty well. And then also you have the ongoing plot too, because there's a story being told by Vector to Eggman, who has Sonic and Vector in a cage, and for whatever reason, Sonic wants Vector to stall as long as possible, so he's telling the story in excruciating detail. The last episode that came out at the time of this recording is Vector and Vanilla's episode, or the Vanilla and Cream episode. For those of you who don't know, it's a running gag that Vector is in love with Cream's mother, Vanilla. This started in Sonic X, and then it just, I guess Japan liked it so much they made it canon.
Okay.
This episode goes off the rails really fast. Because Vector is telling the story to Eggman and Sonic, but the way he's recounting the story, he makes it like Vanilla and Vector were about to like fuck tonight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like
Whoa,
indulging. And Sonic's like,
whoa.
wait, that didn't happen. And he's like, well, I'm the person telling the story, so it doesn't really matter. So that bit was pretty funny. But you know, I do think that is a problem though, because I'm wondering like, well, how much of this is just him embellishing it a little bit? But I'm gonna assume it's just this one episode. Favorite episodes: Vector versus Jet on the hoverboard race, because Jet is the second best hoverboarder in the Sonic universe, beneath Sonic.
Okay.
And Vector has no experience on a hoverboard at all. So so watching Jet just kind of bully him for the whole race was kind of entertaining to watch. Vector being like, man, this is just not my day. You know, it's pretty cool. Oh, we also have the reintroduction of Gun in this universe. You guys might know Gun from Sonic Movie 3. You know, the people who kidnapped Shadow and killed Maria and all that other stuff, right? They've been out of the games for a long time. And they weren't even in the comics either. We presume they were all destroyed because of Eggman and Sonic Forces when he destroyed 99% of the planet. We thought they were all dead. But no, this reintroduces Gun into the storyline. Gun basically, they were destroyed, but after Sonic, saved the world again, Gun has been slowly rebuilding. But this time they're going to be tougher now. They're going to be like, listen, that's never happened to us again. They're trying to present themselves as like a great, like the next shield, like a shield times two. Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of their thing. I think that's cool, and it's cool seeing the Chaotix actually interact with Gun and have a rivalry between them and the Chaotix as well. We also get the introduction of a new human character named Victoria, who we kind of met in Tails Tube, I think late last year. She's an archaeologist that Tails looks up to. Apparently, she works with Gun. She's like their archaeologist, also like double agent type thing. But yeah, that's cool. She just exists now. I don't know what it's going to lead to in the future, but it's cool seeing her. But yeah, Chaotix Files is not done yet, but I do recommend giving it a listen. It's not perfect, especially with the voices, but I do love it. This is the first time I've watched a Chaotix story, and I'm like, I really do enjoy what I'm looking at. So, shout out to it. And also the theme is made by Rebecca Sugar. So that's cool, I guess, if you like Rebecca Sugar's music. So yeah, go watch it. Chaotix
That's
are
a
on the
fun
case.
name.
Yeah.
That's a fun name.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Sounds like an interesting story. So, all right. You have any final thoughts, Jake, before we move on to the next topic?
No, that's it. That's it.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, cool. So now we're talking about Punisher #1, the first Red Band series to make it into an ongoing audience. So yay, time to celebrate. So yeah, this kind of picks up what happened like in the events of the last Red Band Punisher comic. So right now Frank is just walking around. Oh, we lost somebody. But anyway, so yeah, we have Frank just walking along, like, the streets of New York, like trying to kind of piece together, his life, because, he literally had brain surgery from the Kingpin, who literally drilled a hole in his head, So yikes, yikes. So anyway, he ends up running
Oh, well, that's cryptic.
mugger, and it's
Oh, no, he's
just
back.
fucking hilarious, right? The guy just spots Frank, and he holds up a gun like that. Yep. Oh, you guys hear me?
I hear you now. You broke up for a minute.
Jake, you there?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hear me?
You might be delayed. You might want to come back and
Oh, okay.
come
Sorry
back in.
about that. Again. Try.
Wow.
Hold on.
Did you come back? I don't know what's going on.
Wait.
Well, guys, looks like I run the podcast now.
Oh, wait. Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, I hear you now.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, anyway, audience, different part of the world right now, so bear with us. So anyway, so Punisher gets a mugger tries robbing Punisher. He comes out from an alley with a handgun saying, "Hey, that's a fancy code. Empty out your pockets, dude." Like he shoots 2 rounds in the floor. Look what I got packing. And Punisher's like, "Look what I got, dude. Look what I got."
Yeah, you would make it out of this one.
Oh, dude, imagine the weight of his vast audience. The kid
Sorry,
just
my
like
phone overheated again.
drops the gun. He's like, "Oh shit!"
That's fine.
Okay,
Oh,
continue.
okay, no problem, no problem. Tech issues. Anyway, the kid's like, "Oh God, you're the actual Punisher? Oh, you're the freaking real one? Oh damn, I'm out. I thought you were just a guy with a skull in his shirt." Like, oh boy. So yeah, he runs, and basically this issue is just Frank trying to piece together, you know, his life right now because yeah, after the brain surgery and also forgetting about what happened in the events of between Weird World and how he got here and this and that. He's a bit lost at the moment, but he does have his old pal Microchip, who he saved, but uh, yeah, emphasis on save, audience, because Punisher doesn't know whether to kill Microchip or let him live. Uh, we don't know how Microchip got brought back from the dead because he was dead for a really long time in the Punisher mythos. So that's a mystery to itself too. But anyway, you
Right.
have the news reporters who are like reporting the news of Punisher's coming back, and who just so happens to be looking.
Oh, bring it up again.
Hmm.
We lost him.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyone-
which you know what time it is. Sonic X is a story about Sonic and his friends going to another planet. I don't know.
Also,
I
I
don't know.
just finished rereading Alice in Leatherland for like the 5th time, and it's still good. So go read it, audience. It's really good. So what do you think the Punisher book is about? I think it's about Frank
Hear me?
Castle finally going to therapy, and then
Okay.
like,
So we hear you. We hear
Okay.
you.
yeah,
Back.
and the therapist is like,
Okay.
yeah, you should kill all the bad guys.
Right.
It's
We
a great
agree.
idea. Sorry, we're
No,
discussing.
you know
We were
what? You know what would
discussing
be
what
the
the
thing?
Punisher book was about.
Gotcha. Now, if the Punisher goes to a therapist, guys, the therapist would need to go to a therapist after a session with him. Like, oh good lord, oh good lord. But anyway, so we find somebody from Punisher's past is also looking at the news, and
And we lost Cryptid again.
Yes. I think the Punisher is trying to kill Krypton.
I think so. I think so.
we're
Oh.
as
Yeah.
human man.
Oh, Krypton, you might need to restart your Wi-Fi. You're breaking up bad.
Okay, in a different spot.
You're in a, wait. Say something.
Okay.
Say a full
Same
sentence for
way.
me.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Is everything good?
Oh yeah. We're good.
Yeah, just continue.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, so anyway, that person, pays a visit to Tombstone because remember, Tombstone got an ass whooping from Punisher in the last arc, and now he's in jail. You think that's bad, audience? Remember, the other person Frank was targeting was Kingpin, and he fully emptied his ammunition on Kingpin. So yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so this lawyer guy, he pays one security guards to have a visit with Tombstone, and then Tombstone's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And yeah, that's when it's revealed that this mystery person is none other than Jigsaw.
Oh,
Like
man.
from the Saw movies?
No, there's like a dude in Punisher named Jigsaw.
Yeah, which he is like the only long lasting villain in the Punisher mythos because there has to be somebody. He can't just be killing every villain he fights. So
Yeah, you can if you're not a coward.
I mean, for God's sakes, like, do you think this guy looks like a survivor? Really? If you look at his face, like, yeah,
No, you think I get paid enough for
yeah.
this shit?
Gotcha. But anyway, like even Jigsaw's literally trying to build his empire back piece by piece. Yeah, you get that, audience, piece by piece, you know. So, and since there's now a power vacuum in the streets of New York, since one, Kingpin's now in the hospital and out of commission, and then two, now that Tombstone's now in jail, he goes up to Tombstone, has him like basically sign over all his assets over to Jigsaw because hey, if he could find Jigsaw, then he just as easily find his daughter and kill her. So what is Tombstone to do in this situation? So yeah, basically Punisher, basically Jigsaw now is the top dog in New York. Yikes! Let's see how that goes. See how that goes. And now we back to Frank Castle. He's literally going to a grocery store that's just being robbed by a bunch of clowns. And I'm being
Clowns,
literal
guys.
about that, audience.
Clowns.
Yeah, I think this might be Benjamin Percy's subtle jab of Punisher going after Joker. Because do you think Punisher will hold anything back against Joker? I got all the
Wasn't there a
therapy
comic?
you need right
Wasn't there a
here.
comic where like Joker was terrified of Punisher because he actually was gonna like fucking kill him?
Oh yeah, that's true. Like Joker was like, "Oh, you're one of the heroes. Okay, you go ahead, take me to jail. I'm sure after some therapy sessions, I could be a rehabilitated villain and go back on the streets and be a model citizen. I've got all the therapy you need right here." Oh shit! You're actually going to shoot me?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, bro, we
fuck!
don't do that Batman shit here.
Yeah.
Who do I look like to you, Batman? Do I look like Batman to you? No.
Yeah, and the end of that story, audience, Batman wanted to put Punisher in Arkham Asylum. Like, really, dude? Come on.
Look. Punisher doesn't have a no-kill rule. If he needs to kill, he'll kill.
Yep.
No, he just
And,
will kill. It's not even about need. It's like I'll just do it.
and yeah, and funny enough, like Punisher wasn't even here to kill this guy. He just came, shot him, and just brought back all the stuff that he stole from the grocery store guy, and he just purchases a chocolate bar. He's like, "How
You know,
much is a chocolate bar?"
even Frank Castle deserves a sweet treat, guys.
Yeah, he's like telling this cashier like how much is the bar, and the cashier's like, "Dude, it's on the house. Just go, dude. Just go, oh go." And you find out like he didn't even buy the chocolate bar for himself, audience. He bought it for microchip. Look at that, dude. Like, dude, what are you doing to your buddy, man? This is the guy who used to supply you with all your ammunition, the tech, and all that stuff, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The issue ends with Jigsaw now being the main honcho of New York, and yeah, next issue looks like Jigsaw is going to literally send the clowns after Punisher. So as you see a cover of Frank Castle amongst like the corpses of clowns. So you're like, oh boy, okay. Yeah. Try telling Frank Castle that you just had a bad day. No, I dare you, audience.
Yeah, Frank, I had a really bad day. I need to go to sleep.
My bad day was seeing my family gunned down in front of me.
Okay, you ain't special. That happens to a lot of people.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really how the issue ends, audience. Benjamin Percy, you're one of comics' top writers at the moment, and you still keep the momentum up. So good for you. So yeah, that's really how the issue ends. So we can move on to the next topic. I think it's Jake's pick.
Oh, okay. The Transformers one.
Go ahead. Right there.
Well, Cryptid, here we go. This is the one that you know about. Um, Hi, my name is Jake Talonol, and let me tell you about the Transformers. They're a race of beings from another world.
This is what you missed on Glee.
They're a race of aliens from another world. They come here to hunt down the mini-cons. If the Decepticons get them all, the world will be destroyed. But the Autobots are not going to let that happen. Welcome to Transformers Armada. Okay, listen. I know Robots in Disguise happened, the 2000s one. Forget that shit. This is the first real reboot of the Transformers, okay? All right? It was G1 for America, okay? It was G1, and then it was this, okay? New rules. Peter Cullen, he ain't gonna save you this time. Gary Chalk is your Optimus for the next couple years. You best get used to it, all right? All right? Megatron, completely different voice actor. Fuck that guy. Fuck Frank Welker. New guy. And you know what? To do a great job. All right? New shit, too. First off, this is gonna be a Japanese show with American help, okay? All right? We're not doing the cheap American animation. We're gonna make it Japarica, okay? That's the type of thing we're doing here.
Oh, that's a lovely name that you thought of.
Wow.
Other things too, because Beast Wars started straying away from God, so we're bringing it back. The Transformers, they're gonna transform just like they did in the old days, where you can where you get the toy. If Optimus transforms a certain way, the toy will do the same thing. Okay. In fact, we're also going to have transformation sequences where the show will stop and show you the transformation so kids can
Like
follow
a
along
magical
too.
girl? These are
Yes,
magical girl
yes, very
robots?
close to Magical Girl. In fact, which as the show goes on, it will get more Magical Girl-esque as this saga
Hell
continues.
yeah, brother.
But listen, you just watch that, and if you have your Optimus toy, you follow along with the animation, and you too can make Optimus Prime transform into a truck. Okay, that's a new thing as well. We're also introducing more things too. We're introducing the fucking mini cons, dog. The mini cons. These are so now that you bought your big toy, now you ask your parents to buy a smaller toy, so you can make your
Capitalism.
so you can make your big toy do bigger things.
And remember, audience, it takes 3 mini bots to form one normal size transformer. So there you go.
I don't even think that because these transformers are fucking big. These transformers are big. All right.
Okay.
But
You need 6 mini bots.
Right.
So.
Also, remember Spike with Wiki and his father and all that. Hey, get that shit out of here. We have 3 new humans, all right, that never before seen. We have Carlos, Rad, and Alexis. And are they going to be useful to the plot? Not really at all. But this is the first time.
That is no audience.
Right. These are the first set of humans that do nothing for the story, at least where I'm at in the show right now. So they're going to be very fucking useful. And in fact, they're really just going to be commentary, honestly. Sometimes they'll be the reason why we can't get shit done. But it's okay. so if you want to know where that annoying trope
we need our human representation after all, audience.
I mean, Beast Wars didn't have human representation. It was okay. But so in case you were wondering, like where this shit started, it started here, where useless humans would plague the show. Okay, all right, it started here. But I already explained the plot in a jokey way. Basically, the war on Cybertron happens, but Cybertron's okay. Cybertron's like it's doing fine. I mean, it's just war torn and shit. But the mini cons are here, bro. The mini cons who've been gone for a millennia. They have returned. And how did we figure that out? Because his dumbass Rad pressed a button on Earth and and Megatron, while fighting Optimus, was like, what the fuck? Yo, we gotta go. The mini-cons are back. So he gets his crew, flies to Earth. And Optimus is like, I gotta beat him there. So he gets his crew, flies to Earth. So Rad and Alexis and Carlos, they meet a mini-con and he's like, it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you? You were some type of robot and all this shit? But they can't get an answer because they can't understand the mini-con, right? And then Megatron, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of the most hypest introductions to Megatron and Optimus, right? Megatron shows up. He's like, yo, give me that fucking minicon little shit, or I'll fucking stomp on you or whatever. like Red's like, oh my god, what the fuck are you? He's like, I'm fucking Megatron, the leader of this universe. I'm gonna take that minicon from you. And then like Optimus, and then you just hear Optimus's voice. You don't even see him. You just hear his voice. He's like, not so fast, Megatron. Megatron's like, what? Turns around, Optimus is right there. He's like, Optimus Prime. And then they're like, bro, I shit you not. There's no dialogue. They see each other, they start circling each other, immediately run each other, start boxing, bro. I was like, this is hype as hell. Yo, the theme song starts blaring when they clash. I'm like, bro, this is the hypest introduction to Optimus Megatron ever. Too bad the fight's kind of shit. The fight itself is kind of shit. What you'll find out is that this show is very cheap. So we're saving. So not a lot of fights are really all that good. In fact, you'll have better fights in Beast Wars, the 90s animation, 3D animation thing, than you will in the Armada. But you know, when you're a kid, you kind of fill in the blanks when you see a fight on screen. So, you know, as a kid, it probably felt amazing. We'll also have new interpretations of Decepticons. For instance, meet Starscream. You may know him as traitorous little shit who always wants to take over Megatron's position. In this show, he's really loyal to Megatron. Okay? He's more like Dinobot. I wonder where they got the idea to do that. But he's loyal to Megatron. In fact, he wants to prove himself to Megatron constantly. And also we have Bumblebee. Oh shit! I'm sorry, that's not Bumblebee. That's Hotshot.
I'm disappointed in you, Jay.
You're probably wondering why.
Aliens, right?
Right. You're probably wondering why Bumblebee isn't in this show. It's because for some reason they don't have the rights at this time to use the name Bumblebee. I don't know how that works. I didn't care to look into it, but they didn't have the rights to say the name Bumblebee in the show. So they made him Hotshot, who's essentially Bumblebee, or what he would have been if he was in the show. But when they bring this concept back, Hotshot and Bumblebee from here on out will be two different characters. Okay, so
I gotta say, audience, Optimus Prime doesn't have a nice ring to it, does it?
No.
Optimus Prime.
But you know. So Alita 1 probably calls him Optimus Prime. I'm just saying that. But so yeah. So we have Hotshot. Hotshot is a young, inexperienced rookie who just wants to prove himself on the battlefield and be as great as Optimus. And then we have Red Alert, who's the tactical expert. But he's also not second in command, as we find out later. He's just the most senior officer that isn't Optimus right now. And so now that we have the premise, this is basically going to be the flow of the episodes. Autobots. We follow the humans for a bit. The minicon gets detected. We go hunt the minicon, and then we fight the Decepticons, and the Autobots sometimes don't get the minicon. That's also refreshing. Usually at this point, when you watch Transformers, say it. What's up,
Jake? Explain why they want to get the minicons.
Well, the minicons they might be small
for capitalistic reasons.
Right, for capital. First off, so we can get more money out of the children. But also because the minicons might be small, but they hold extraordinary power. And to hold the power of the minicons is to hold the power of the universe itself, or so the legends say.
They can also attach themselves to one of the Transformers and give them like a special attack, basically.
Yes.
The audience,
Yes. So it makes her toy cooler.
As I recall, it's been a while since I saw this version of Transformers, right? But you have one minicon who could transform into a race car. When he attached himself to Starscream, all of a sudden those thrusters of Starscream were able to be turned into cannons.
Yeah, that was when he got Swindle. He got his own minicon. He was excited about that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's about the Aluminum Emperor.
Yeah, So that's basically what the minicons do. They just give them a little power boost. I mean, they act like it's a big deal, and then another episode, they'll be back to being equally balanced or whatever. Optimus also gets.
I still remember one episode, right, where eventually everybody gets their own minicon, right?
Right.
But Megatron, he was such a dick that he forced all the members of his platoon to hand over their minicons to him. I'm come on, dude. Come on, dude.
We also have episodes that are kind of stupid in premise. Atlantis was pretty big in kids' mind at the time. So we had an episode where Transformers went to Atlantis. But the only reason Carlos wants to go to Atlantis is because he keeps dreaming about this fucking girl this Atlantean girl. And he's like, man,
Isn't that the plot of this one Disney movie, the Atlantis movie?
it
Atlantis.
could be. Disney is popular in Japan, at
Hey,
least at the time.
hey, I was just about to say, like, oh wow, a teenage boy's dreaming about a girl. Wow, I've never heard that before, Jake. You know?
Man, Carlos was bugging this episode. He's like, so you want to hunt the mini cons, but you don't want to save the girl. I'm like, bro, Carlos, shut up, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about. Man. So Carlos was doing his doing his little bit. We have to do an Atlantis battle. It was all good. We also learned that some of the mini cons you don't just get one. Sometimes you need to get them in sets. Take for instance the three that make the Star Saber.
Yeah.
Now
Those are supposed to be like legendary weapons. One is a saber, a shield, and a gun. You know?
Yes. Now, the Star Saber specifically is actually an interesting reference. This also proof that Japan helped with the show. Star Saber was the name of a transformer they introduced in the Japanese cartoon, and he was the main character. And he wielded a blade that could like destroy anything. He was kind of like a badass or whatever. So that was kind of like their continuity thing. That was their thing basically.
And they made sure like the sets for each of these weapons, they made sure each of the mini cons were like, from the same avenue. Like, okay, the saber, right? It was comprised of three mini cons that were all a type of airplane, or like the shield, which was made of three mini cons that were all race cars, So
right.
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's basically that. The mini cons are they were fun toys. They're fun concepts for kid. When I was a kid, I wanted one. I don't think I ever got an Armada. No, I did. Which one was it? I got Optimus for sure. I had Megatron. I loved Megatron's toy. Megatron's toy was so cool. He also had like a knife that was hidden in his hand that you could like call in. It was so fun to play with.
I used to have that toy actually. Funny enough.
Yeah, no, he's cool. And the
everybody
tank. Yeah,
did.
there's also when Megatron turned into a tank for the first time because everybody agrees the gun was stupid. All right, the gun was a stupid thing. I hated it. All right, stupid concept.
Hey. It was cool enough to be. It was cool enough to be banned, Jake. Think of it that way.
Yeah. Also, but yeah, so Megatron's got a tank and everything. Oh, this also introduces a new thing. Megatron and Optimus's dichotomy has shifted. This is the first show to make it more personal. Before, even in Beast Wars, it was more like, these are two opposing factions. They hate each other, and that's about the end of it. This one, and we're gonna get more into it as time goes on. Megatron and Optimus' relationship here are rivals that just happen to lead armies. They want to beat each other because they fought for so long. And Optimus doesn't want to admit it, but it's kind of become a game for them at this point.
Yeah.
And that's how Megatron sees it. Like he loves fighting Optimus. If Optimus died, like bro, it better be by his hands. All right. Like,
Oh yeah, I still remember that. I still remember that final fight. Wait,
yeah,
so
that was a
did you
great
watch
fight.
this whole series? Did you watch
No.
this whole
We're on the
series?
first part of it because I got really busy this week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. But I've seen the final fight. I love that. That's one of my top Megatron Optimus fights, actually, even to this day.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that to say, but this really did give much needed energy in the Transformers brand. This is the first time we also established things about Transformers that will be true from here on out. That the Transformers can reboot in any way, shape, or form, and only some characterizations are consistent. Because the Optimus we get here is not going to be the Optimus we're going to get in the series after this, like after the anime is over. Same with Megatron, and also Starscream's character. I mean, Starscream will be consistent after this. He'll not really change that much. But we'll have characters like Soundwave, who's going to act nothing like he did in the original cartoon. Characters that you've grown up to know from other shows. When they come in here, they're not going to act like their old selves. I know Rodimus appears in this show. Yeah. He will not act like Rodimus at all. So it's kind of disappointing. I'm sorry, he'll appear in Energon, not this show specifically, but he's in this universe.
No.
Energon is also not a thing yet. They will never bring up Energon, so that's also a new thing. But yeah, all that to say, Armada, It's dated. I mean, like, especially early arcs, a lot of it's kind of childish. The dialogue's not always great, but the voice acting's fun. I love the voices for these characters.
Mhm.
Megatron's voice actor is the best in this. I will take no exceptions, okay? Especially when we get to Energon, he has the greatest line any Megatron has ever said in fucking history. And I will get to it when we get to Energon. But I love this actor for Megatron. He's so fucking
Uh,
good. So even if he is just cliche villain or whatever. And I do like how again the Autobots and Decepticons go back and forth. Not every victory is the Autobots. Some of them is the Decepticons winning. So it keeps the battles interesting, even though it's never like, oh, an Autobot died in this episode or whatever. It's never that. But they get the mini cons sometimes. Later the series is gonna get more complex when we introduce like more themes to the show, not darker themes, but more serious themes. And eventually, because people might have hated the 86 movie, the 86 movie is the most important thing to ever happen to Transformers to this day. Okay? And that's why Rodimus was justified in what he did. I will take no exceptions. But because everything Rodimus did will be referenced for the rest of the franchise, and the franchise will benefit from it. Okay? This is so but yeah, Transformers Armada. You can watch it for free on YouTube. I'm through the first third of it, and I will see if we can finish it next week. We'll see. So,
Gotcha. All right. So, all right then, audience. I guess with that, we're gonna move on to the last book of the night. So, another Benjamin Percy book today, audience. Yay! Twice the Ben for tonight, audience. So we're talking about Wade Wilson, Deadpool, issue number 1. Oh my god. I needed this book, audience. It's like a good refresher. I was okay with the last run, the one where with Deadpool's daughter. I think I liked it better than most other people I've noticed. But even then, I was kind of getting a little gassed out on the whole Ellie situation. But this is just really Deadpool coming back to form. So we start off with like we're in Wisconsin, right? We're in a cattle farm. You have like a bunch of what look like farm workers who are actually trying to smuggle in some, well, how do you call it, Christmas snow into these cows to, keep
They're trying to
distributed.
go skiing if you catch my drift.
There you go, and they're going to be using these cows to like put some white bag stuff in them, right? So, but then they just one of them noticed, there's something odd about this one cow. Let me take a look. I think it has something to do with his back hind. So he goes and takes a peek at the back of the cow's head, only to get a 9mm bullet through his skull. As we see Deadpool come out of the cow's ass.
dang.
Oh my god! For all you people who grew up with Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, you know what scene they're referring to with here. Like, imagine that being the last sight of your existence, audience. Like your last breath, just peeking under a cow's ass. Wow. So, like, I like how Benjamin Percy has the voice for Deadpool here, right? Because he's saying, I've gone undercover before, but this is my first time being part of a stakeout. Hey,
Shout out.
I can just picture that X gonna give it to you song being played in the background in this audience. It's just so much a lot of fun, Deadpool's there giving these guys hell. He's here to ensure that these drug dealers are off the street, just so that his employer could be taking those over those streets. Because he was actually hired by Hammerhead to go and eliminate the competition. So now this dairy farm is now Hammerhead turf. So wow. Deadpool's not all that good, audience. Keep that in mind, all right? He's good for money, and then he's also bad for money. So he goes after after a job well done, he meets up with Hammerhead at a diner, and Deadpool's like, "Yeah, it's been all a blast." He literally grabs a hot cup of coffee and breaks it over his face. Yay! This is the kind of person I am. This and that, and Hammerhead's like, "The fuck is up with you, dude? Here, just take the money, all right? Like I don't." Job well done. I get a new turf. I know who you are, Wilson, and I don't want to have to deal with anything further than this. Okay, so yeah. It was all good. Deadpool's just, taking his money. He goes back to his current residence, which is Blind Owl's apartment. And I like how Blind Owl's just giving Deadpool shit. Like,
Oh, was
wait,
Blondell a character before the movies? Was it?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She was a long-standing character. Funny enough, Jake, she was supposed to kind of be like the parody of Aunt May, you know?
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. So this is Blind Owl audience, and I like how she's giving Deadpool smack, like saying, "I've told you for the 100th time, I don't want you mixing your bloodstained clothes with my laundry. Your blood got mixed in with my pantyhose now." Like, so it's a lot of fun banter. This is like the best version of Deadpool you could write, really, audience. Is what I'm trying to say.
It
I'm
must
glad
be
that
nice
you.
having your favorite character be represented well in dialogue. I can't relate as a Sonic fan.
Yeah, and I can't relate that most often as a Captain America fan, Jake. I know that, I know that pain. Like, yeah. I did want to mention something about Dennis Camp after what I heard about Rob Liefeld saying about it, but I'll say that for another day. So anyway, I'll keep this in this book. So anyway, Deadpool's just trying to get his life back together because apparently something happened with Ellie in the last run. Audience, I really did need a break from Ellie. I don't like. I didn't like the fact that she became a Deadpool version 2.0. So whatever happened at the end of the last arc, Deadpool now has full healing power capabilities now. So
Wait,
yeah.
what? He has full what?
He has full healing now because in order to resurrect Deadpool, because remember he died in the last arc, right?
Right.
Ellie kind of had to split her healing factor into two in order to give a
Doesn't
portion of that to her dad.
did he always? I mean, did he lose his healing factor?
He got magically killed. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I'm only okay. So I'm just confused because it sounds like you're making it sound like he didn't have a healing factor when you say he has full healing powers. That's what I'm kind of confused about.
Oh well, okay. Like, look, for the longest time, Deadpool was immortal, but that was only because Thanos gave him immortality, right?
Oh, I
So
thought it's because the healing factor was insane.
yeah, it was a combination of that, both the healing factor he had, along with the immortality Thanos gave him. But Thanos took away that immortality he gave Deadpool. The whole thing was because like Thanos didn't like the fact that Deadpool could be with his crush, which was Death. So I'm like, fuck you. I'm basically doing the equivalent of giving my love rival a restraining order.
Wait, okay, so
Like
so I'm a little confused. So like, can Deadpool age to that? Was he allowed to do that before?
before he could not age. But now that he no longer has that immortality clause on him, Deadpool can't age
No.
now.
What I'm saying is,
You know?
before that story with Thanos, could he age? Like, was that
Yes,
something?
he could age.
Oh, okay.
He could,
That's what I was confused about.
yeah, yeah. So right now, Deadpool is, his healing factor, it's not as insane as Wolverine's. It's just like a constantly always happening, because of the cancer and that's this and that. It's a crippled version of Wolverine's healing factor is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
But anyway, regardless, at the end of the day, Deadpool's now back to having full healing power, healing factor capabilities, and he is kind of missing Ellie. We'll apparently find that find out what happened to her fate later on this series. And yeah, Deadpool's just excited about his next jobs. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Benjamin Percy has never let me down before. So yeah, I'm
He's
sure
gonna
he's not
try.
going to let me down. Okay, even Chip Zdarsky had his own Batman run, which was a really bad run. But hey, we all have our hiccups, you know. So yeah, yeah. That's really how this issue ends, you know. So well, looking forward to more Deadpool books, audience. So yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Just in time because we just lost our third co-host, audience. So
It's
yeah.
true. I am racing to my computer now, but you know, it is a shame that
We, we
Deadpool
don't need
sucks.
that.
Yeah, it's a lazy night. Let's just
Deadpool does not suck, man.
yeah. Oh no. I
Yeah.
mean,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
anyway, thanks. This is the only video we're doing for the week, audience. You know. So all right.
Yeah.
We need a break too. Is what we're
Yeah.
saying. So anyway, audience, thanks for joining us, and we'll be seeing you all next time.
Bye.
See